Patchwork is traditional and at the same time modern and important way of work with textiles. Today masters Evgenia Goryacheva and Galina Sokolova share the secrets of patchwork. This is assemblage of a cloth of squares without difficulty with using of new technologies, and as a result, a few tree needle holder to which the flock of bullfinches of Evgenia Goryacheva is flight to it. Business isn't afraid of the real master. All is in our hands. Hello, dear viewers. Today our life is full of cares and daily vanity, and sometimes we want to live from this grey daily occurrence. For this purpose, sometimes it's enough to take a small rag of a fabric, to add the warmth of our hands, and to create unique mood for ourselves and for people surrounding us. Today, two wonderful textile masters will help to create peace to our home: Evgenia Goryacheva and Galina Sokolova. Good afternoon, dear viewers. Little time has passed since I began to teach in the creative lycée of the city Zelenograd, particularly patchwork. And the first thing girls face is that it's very difficult to join exactly corners of patchwork in blocks. Therefore, today we have such theme. We have already studied it with girls. Sewing of squares on a basis, sewing on flizzeline. Our squares will be always sewed very smoothly by such method and won't cause any conversations that someone has sewed this thing inaccurately. Here we see that all squares are sewed very smoothly, joint in joint. And today we will work on the example of this patchwork fur tree. For sewing of this fur tree we can use those fabrics which are at our home. They could remain from sewing of curtains, children's clothes. The first stage of work will be ruling of our flizzeline. At first we will rule it lengthwise, and then across that we will have squares. After we have marked our flizzeline, we start to prepare fabrics. We, from each piece, cut out squares of a fabric from each color, much less than ruling on flizzeline. When we will cut all pieces, there comes the interesting moment when we start to lay these pieces on a fabric, on flizzeline, forming thereby our future fur tree. Whether there will be on it many small lamps or will it be less. It is the most interesting moment because the more red color, the more brightly and more beautiful our fur tree will be. After we have put fabric squares on flizzeline, we need to take the iron and to fix by the hot iron fabric pieces to flizzeline, that they keep strong enough on flizzeline. We need to be more careful when we press the iron to fabrics. What does it mean? We have fixed the iron on flizzeline and have counted to 15 very slowly. In no event it's impossible to count quickly, then flizzeline won't stick to our fabric. After we have put all, have pasted all, we start to sew. We put in those places where there is no fabric. In those places where there are spaces on the fabric. We bend flizzeline with already pasted fabric in those places. Where there is a small interval between fabrics. We bend and sew at first on verticals. Then we have cut off a little the bent place, have straightened and further we sew on horizontals in the same way. Thus, our squares will be even and accurate, and nobody won't tell us that we somewhere have faked. Such method is very helpful to us when it's necessary to stitch very accurately. Our cloth is ready, and it's possible to form a few trees of it. We will only need to sew a bottom, to fill a few trees with a synthetic winterizer, and it will be ready. We can use it and begin its subsequent decoration at will. We need to middle it the right side inside, to stitch the basic seam, to sew a bottom, to fill it with synthetic winterizer, and the fur tree is ready. the best to you. Good luck and warmth to your home. And by the way, as Grigory Oster wrote, given very bad advice, the main thing in your life can become any trifle. You just need to believe that no case is more important, and then neither cold nor heat won't hurt you, gasping with delight to do the most beautiful thing in the world, work with tremendous rags. And we see that the smallest rags find the worthy place in the tremendous textile palette. Hello, dear viewers. I want to offer you such bird, a bullfinch who can be both a few-tree toy and a souvenir. In general, it's a good thing both for the adult and for the child. I will tell you about of what it can be made, what materials are necessary, what preparations. And each of you can easily repeat this toy. We put two rags face to face, pin together on corners, and draw a diagonal, and along this diagonal we lay two stitches, one on the one side, another on the another for width of a pad. Then we cut these rags on a diagonal, and we have two squares which already consist of triangles, one dark blue, another red. We put to them triangles, which further will form a head of this bird. We put them evenly and stitch on the machine, and then iron these corners on the head. Having got these two details, we put them with each other and level, that all will be even. We pin together, then we will put in a beak. It's a very responsible operation. To make a beak, we need to take a detail in the size about 2 on 2 centimeters or 2.5 on 2.5. We put this detail half and half and mark its center, In other words, put once again half and half. And then, pressing this center, we put at an angle. Now I will show you how to make it. We have such detail. And then we put it half and half. Now this detail needs to be put on a pin, like this, that the beak will be inside, and the pin sent outside. And put it into that place where there will be the bird's beak, exactly here, where a hat. And it's here that then, when we will sew, it will get under a line.
Он, так сказать, попал под строчку.
Having stitched this square on 3 sides, we will round the head here, we as though round the one corner. And now we take scissors, straighten surpluses, and cut off along the arch. It will be a head. We have such preparation. Now the following stage. We should make a stomach. In other words, we take 2 red rags, put them evenly seam to seam, and stitch at the distance of 1½ centimeter from a corner. It's this seam. The tail consists of 2 details which look thus. We put them together, red from above, dark blue from below, and put to our sewed preparation from below, like this, and stitch here. In other words, we sew this tail to the bottom part of the bird. Then we turn out the detail, our bird, fill with synthetic winterizer, and manually sew from behind, having made folds. In other words, bird will be already ready. So, we have finished work, and such bird can bring a lot of joy and to the child and to the adult. It can be a Christmas tree decoration and a souvenir. It can decorate the interior, what you like. And I wish you good luck, successes in the new year, especially creative. Because when we make by our hands anything which bring joy both to us and other people, it's always very pleasant. The masterclass is finished. All that the person will touch gets something human. Here, this house served us a century, almost knows how to talk. Peace to your home, good luck to new meetings. With you there were Galina Sokolova, Evgenia Goryacheva and Tatiana Lazareva.